Hey, I wanted to give my perspective on the law of attraction. And, I spent a lot of time on this, like decades studying it and just honing the skills that are required to get the thoughts in here lined up with what it is you want out there. And listen, it's a never ending story. And I want you to understand too that I'm just in this like everybody else. I'm not here to preach. Certainly not. I'm not qualified to do that. I am just here trying to figure it out, the best I can and get better and better and better because this is a never ending story. There's no end to the depth of the understanding that we can get. And the more we can get, the better off things are for us. And it begins with just taking the time to test this stuff out. So I really wanted to cover a whole bunch of stuff here, like the four laws of the universe, what it means to turn the other cheek, the frequency of the Christ powers. These are some of the things that I've just been putting out recently. And you already always have everything. So what does all that mean? The fact that there is no time. So we're going to put all this together into one video that is as short as I can make it. And at the end, I want to give you really the best manifestation process that there is. And I have kind of understood what that was, but even just in the last few days, I have heard the same thing again about how to manifest something. And I got a little bit better understanding of it than I had, say, a few days earlier. Is that amazing? Yes, it's amazing. So what I would say is, it's okay to listen to things over and over and over and over again because they're going to sound different no matter, even if I am or somebody else is saying the same thing. You're still going to hear things differently as you progress in your deeper and deeper understanding of the law of attraction and the all that is, and really just creation and life and how to get a better life. And that's really all that we want, is how do we get what we want and feel better, and in the process learn more about ourselves, because ourselves is really all there is. Yeah, we can look out there and we can see other people and we can co-create, but if you look at the four laws of the universe, well, the all is one and the one is all. So that means there's only one. So let's start out with that. The four laws of the universe. Number one, we are immortal beings. So, if you exist right now, then that means you exist for eternity. And that's because there is no time. So if you exist now, then you exist, period. End of story. And by the way, eternity is not endless time. It is endless now. So number two, the all is one and the one is all. Now, it certainly looks like there's a whole bunch of different things and people and stuff out there, and there's a lot of different planets, and there's a lot of different things, and there are a lot of different people, and there are a lot of solar systems and galaxies. Well, that's the way it does appear, but that's all it is. It's just an appearance. We are, each one of us individually is all of those things. Okay, number three, whatever we put out is what we get back. So within the all is one and one is all, what we're looking at is a reflection. So whatever we put out is what we get back in the reflection of ourselves. So, now we can look at the golden rule. So the golden rule is treat other people as if you would like to be treated like that. pretty much the golden rule. But I don't quite see it like that. I don't see it like it's a golden rule, like it's a suggestion. It's like treat other people the way you would treat yourself, because you are treating other people, but you're treating yourself. So if you're lying to other people, you're just lying to yourself. If you're cheating other people, you're cheating, yourself. If you're hoarding or you're thinking that there's limitations, then you're limiting yourself. And then the fourth law of the universe is the only constant is change. So, you might as well just get used to the change and just kind of sit back, enjoy the ride. Now, that is except for the first three laws. The first three laws do not change. So going back to the change, I like Monk, this TV series Monk, who's the private detective that is a little bit OCD, we'll say. So he says, and I'm okay with change as long as I'm not there when it happens. Well, yeah, that's not quite the way it works, but that's okay. So using these four laws as an outline, let's go back to number one, which is you're immortal beings. So we are all immortal beings. So, there's no hurry. We've got eternity to figure this stuff out. Now, the only question is, how fast do you want to do it? Do you want to do it really fast and get kind of through it and stop suffering? So I kind of think that this earth is what we would call the hell religious people reference all the time. So yeah, there's a lot of teeth gnashing and grinding and stress and anxiety and fear and frustration and all that sort of thing. So maybe we should just stop, stop that. Now, the way I see this is so we're immortal beings. We exist now. That means we exist in eternity because there's no such thing as time. So now that's pretty cool. If you think about it, now it took me a really long time to kind of get a tiny bit of understanding about the no time thing. So the no time is quantum jumping. So if there's no time, that means everything exists right now. Everything. Anything that you can imagine, anything that you have not imagined, things that you're going to imagine, things that you're going to experience, it all exists now. Now, that includes the good things and the bad things. Keep that in mind, because now everything exists, good, bad, indifferent, and now what are we doing? We are the center of our universe. So within this no time center of our own universe where everything exists, what do? We take the free will and we decide what it is we like. That's the game. That's it. So we decide what we like and we focus our attention. Now, what does that mean? That means we line up vibrationally with that thing that we like. And then there's some skills involved with lining up that vibration. And there's some understanding, there's some deep understanding as to what that means. It's because most people think that if you say, I want it, and where is it, then you're lining up with it. Well, that's not the way that really works. You're not lining up with it, because asking for it is a completely different vibration than lining up with having it. And there's the rub, if you will. So now, let's get into the manifestation part of it. How do we line up with it? So we notice we don't want it. And by the way, Abraham Hicks has been fantastic at really breaking this down into a 3 or a 5-step process. So the 3-step process is you kind of notice what you don't want from contrast. So contrast shows up. So that contrast means things you like and things you don't like. So now you see right there in front of your face, which is really not there in front of your face. It's part of the illusion, the reflection that you see, which is really in here. But you see it in front of your face because this is the screen of life that gives you the feedback to what's going on in here. So now you see it and you say, wow, I like this, but I don't like that. So, all right, now if you say, I don't like that, and you focus your attention on it and you try to push it away, you're only going to get more of the things you don't like. Because why? Because you're vibrationally lined up with that. So whatever you focus on gets bigger. So now what we do is we turn the other cheek. So we look the other way. So the things we don't like are over here, but the things we like are over here, vibrationally speaking, of course. So now we look over here and we say, wow, I really like that. So now let's focus our attention on that. And so you put all of your focus there and you get that feeling of what it's like to have those things. So these things out here are nothing more than just a reference. They're just a manifestational reference to your feelings and the things that you like or don't like. That's it, really. You're just shooting for the feeling. So now then, once we've kind of figured the feeling out, we can kind of forget about these things out here. Yeah, we can still use them, but let's not get all tied up in the things. See what I mean? Just kind of let the things go. And this is a key thing. This is a key thing to being an effective manifester of the things that you want. Now, this is the paradox that I've mentioned a few times. The paradox is this. The things that you really want, you have to treat them as if you really don't care. And that's okay, because what you really care about is not the things anyway. You don't really care about the things. You care about the feeling. So let's just jump into the feeling. Forget about the things. Yes, use them. They're great tools. If you need a hole, for example, in a piece of wood, you go get the drill and you take the drill and you drill the hole. You don't really want or care about the drill. You just want the hole, right? So once you get the hole drilled, you can get rid of the drill. Now you've got the hole. So the things like the car, the house, the lover, the friend, the career, the exploration, the travel, all that is the drill. The feeling is the hole, okay? So now once you have figured that out, then you can really kind of take off. You know what I mean? So now, how do you do that? All right. There's a lot of questions here, right? So in studying this, and I think I made a reference earlier to, I just heard something again. So I've heard it over and over and over again from Abraham Hicks, from Bashar, to Neville Goddard, to Napoleon Hill. And the list goes on, to even Joe Vitale. It just, everybody is saying kind of the same thing. But sometimes it takes a minute to penetrate, to really get the understanding, because we want the things, and it's kind of hard to let go of that. Here's the process. We know that there's a conscious and kind of a subconscious. They're really kind of the same thing, but let's just define it as, okay, consciously and subconscious. It's just, again, a different frequency of vibration to be able to access things that maybe we can't see with our physical eyes. So what we're trying to do is connect our physical lower vibration, the slower, lower vibration to the higher manifestational Christ conscious vibration that lies at the subconscious level. So we do that with feeling. So, all right, so here's the process. So there's something that you really like. Maybe it's travel and a lot of abundance and the ability to move around the planet and the feeling of having all the money you need, maybe a billionaire, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a big house, maybe it's a jet, maybe it's just being able to chill and relax at home and do, whatever it is you want to do from home, whatever it is that you like, that's it. So put all of your focus and attention on that. Get that feeling. Just get the heck out of that feeling, dive into it. And then when you get to the height of what that feeling is, you feel it here in your heart, right there. Your brain and your heart are connected. And then there's the feeling, and then you just forget about all the stuff. The stuff no longer matters. So now you're only focused on the feeling purely. And if you can bring that to the point where you're kind of in a sleepy mode, almost like right before you're going to sleep, subconsciously, now you're connected, your physical manifestation, your vibrational manifestation, to the subconscious level, which is your Christ conscious level, which is your manifestational frequency. Boom. Right there is when you just let go of it all. You just forget about it. You're done. It's done. It's all done. It always has been. You've already had everything that you ever wanted. What are you doing? You're just tuning your frequency to all that. And you have a very specific frequency. This is your job on the planet. You're going about your Father's business, which is you're exercising your free will to create what you want, remembering that the all that is you. You are the one, and the one is you. So automatically you're doing your God's work. Your God's work. It's you. You are the God of your own work. All right? And now you know pretty much everything there is to know about the law of attraction. It took me decades to kind of get to this point, and I'm not saying that I know everything, because I sure don't. All I know is what I know, and I don't know what I don't know, and there's plenty of that, I'm sure, out there. How should I know? I don't know what it is, but I do know that I'm moving along the path that's going to get me wherever I need to go. And you know what? I'm not in a hurry. Why? Because I'm an eternal being. I'm just doing what I can do in this moment right now, as you should as well. By the way, this is Steve. It's about belief. And, I hope you subscribe. I hope you click the bell button, and let's do this journey together. There you go. That's all I have for now. By the way, live fearlessly.